Hello and welcome back to the shed. In today's video we're going to be turning this chunk of beeswax and this raw linseed oil into some paste wax. Hope you enjoy. So the first process in making the beeswax is, of course, I need to chop up some of this beeswax or grate it. I'm going to chop it today. And we've also got to weigh out our linseed oil, and obviously we need to know what ratio of linseed oil to beeswax. Now the ratio I use is 5 parts linseed oil to 1 part beeswax. As I said in the intro there, I use raw linseed oil because I don't like the chemical dyes that are in the boiled linseed oil. Now you can go ahead and use whatever linseed oil you like when you're making this, that's up to you, but my personal preference is the raw linseed oil. Now obviously here in Australia we have quite a warm climate, and I've not noticed any difference even in the cooler months to how fast it dries with the raw linseed oil. It still dries relatively quick, so I've not had a problem. But you'll have to make that judgment call for yourself. Now what I've got to do is obviously chop up some beeswax for that 1 part. Now to make this easy, I'm just going to go with 250 grams because I do it by weight. So it's 1 part beeswax to 5 part linseed oil by weight. That's how I've always done it, and it's always worked well for me. And to make this easy, I'm going to go with 250 grams of the linseed oil and obviously 50 grams of beeswax. So let me get in here, I'll get this all set up and we'll chop up some beeswax, and then I'll show you the process that I run through to actually make the paste wax. So I went ahead, weighed out the beeswax off camera. You saw me chop it up there. And now that I've got my linseed oil measured out, which you saw in the video just there, I'm going to use this little notebook butane cooker that I've got here, just a little cheap camping stove sort of thing. And the idea is that I'm going to put this directly on here and melt the beeswax directly in it. That's the way I like to do it. You just need some safety when you're doing this. Some people would say that you should melt the beeswax separately and then pour that in there, but I've found that that only works well when you're using the gum turpentine, because that helps to break it down. And if you put the hot beeswax into cold linseed oil, I find that it doesn't mix through properly and it makes an inferior product. So this is the way I do it, and I know a lot of you out there might say that it's dangerous, but I'm taking extreme caution and being very, very careful. So what I'm going to do here is simply just grab the beeswax, drop it in, get it all in there, and then I'll slowly heat it on here and just keep stirring it. So as you can see there now, there's just only a few little bits of the wax just floating around on the top there, and it's almost complete. So if you get the chunks of beeswax small enough, it doesn't take too long, and you barely need to stir it because the heat is pretty even. I barely stir it, I just agitate it a little bit. There's little bubbles forming on the top here, but I'm not going to the point where it actually boils. I definitely don't want this boiling. Time to turn it off. that all up took about an hour and a half, and most of that time was just cooling time. It melted the beeswax inside about 10 minutes, so that was a very quick process. The paste wax that we end up with from this one is a very soft paste wax. You can literally just push your finger right into it like I am here. It has a wide load of applications, including preventing tools from rusting, putting over the top of finishes to help smooth them out, and lubricating the sole of your planes and your saws to help them move through the timber if you're not using candle wax or something like that. And the final process, I just wanted to show you how quick and easy this finish is to apply to a bit of timber. So you just get a little bit on a rag like this, you can move it around like this, apply it on, wipe the excess off, and you can leave that to just dry and set for about 10 to 15 minutes and then buff it out. And I'm just going to quickly do that now, although it's not ready. And as you can see in the light there, it's got quite shiny and it's very smooth to the touch. So that is the real advantage of using a paste wax, is that it smooths the surface out and makes it feel really nice to the touch and to the hand. And so it's that very tactile process that I like, and I know a lot of hand tool woodworkers enjoy. When it comes to paste wax, there's a lot of different types of paste wax available, obviously commercially, and there's also quite a few different variations where you can make your own. Now this is my take on the paste wax, and this is what I like to use, because I've been using different types of paste wax for a while, and this is what I've settled on. I'll leave a few links in the comments below to other YouTubers that have done their own takes on the paste wax, so you can educate yourself and try and find out what works for you. So I'd like to thank you for watching. If you like these videos, would like to check out some more of my content, please check out these recommended videos on the screen here right now. And before you go, I just want to put a quick shout out there to my patrons on Patreon, because without them, I wouldn't be able to keep doing what I'm doing here. And if you'd like to help to support me making these videos, please check it out in the description below. Bye for now.